So for today's video we're going to continue with our playlist Capoeira Training for Beginners, and for today's video we have two movements which are great for escaping and transitioning. One is Rolé and the other one is Aú. Both movements are designed or are excellent when you want to get out of the attack zone of your opponent and get your opponent into your zone of attack. So as I say, one is Rolé, which is the base of the next one, which is going to be Aú. For today's video I'm going to be making a voiceover since I'm going to be doing a lot of upside down movements. If you're getting value out of this video, don't forget to subscribe. Let's jump right into the training. Alright guys, so we're going to start with Rolé. For doing a Rolé you have to start with the Capoeira position and then extend your left arm and slowly the right arm. As soon as you start rotating your second arm, also start the rotational movement of your feet, because it is gonna be a whole rotational movement. Once you have both hands on the floor, then you can start moving your feet 1, 2, and slowly transitioning to cadeira again. Once again, from cadeira position, start extending one hand towards the floor, second hand while starting the rotation of your feet. Once both hands are in on the floor, then one step, second step, and cadeira position. Let's repeat it a couple of times and more, and then you try to follow along. One important thing when you're doing the Rolé movement though is that at all times keep your sight on your opponent. You can see when I'm moving here that at all times I'm looking at my opponent, in this case the camera, right? And you can see while I'm transitioning in the movement that there are 3 points where you can see keep your sight on your opponent at all times. One is at the beginning under your arm, the other one is in between your legs, and the last one is again under your arm while you are transitioning to cadeira. One last detail is that at the end of your Rolé, always go to cadeira, not going up and down, but going back to your original position, the stand position, cadeira. Always keep it low. You might get dizzy while you are training this Rolé movement, but once you feel confident doing it, then you can start making the next one, which is Aú or cartwheel. Rolé was the base for the cartwheel movement, so if you get a good base in the Rolé, the cartwheel or Aú is gonna be very easy. The only difference here is that instead of transitioning your feet like to the lateral position, you're gonna lift them both, and for a short period of time your whole body weight are gonna be relying on your shoulders. So the best way to learn this movement is by lifting your feet one by one. And even when you can lift them both, when you feel confident enough that you can lift them both, to start low and then transitioning to move your feet higher and higher. As for the other details, it's pretty much the same as in the previous movement Rolé. You gotta keep your sight always on your opponent. There are 3 points for watching your opponents under your arm, and in this case as your feet are gonna be lifted up in between your arms, and at the end when you finish the Aú or cartwheel movement, you're gonna finish always low in cadeira, the stand position. This is gonna have you ready for making whether a defense movement or an attack movement. Let's do it a couple of times, and then we're going to combine Rolé and Aú, and at the end we're gonna be making a couple of Gingas, Rolé and Aú, to simulate a situation as if you were playing in a real Roda.